and you'll be able to overlay it. Can you hear me all right, though? At
Yeah,
least
I
a
can
little?
hear you. I can hear you. It just sounds like you're on the phone as opposed to
Yeah. Hey, wait a second.
on
I am on the
Zoom.
phone.
No,
Uh,
you're not. You're on
yeah,
Zoom. It's
so
different. It's new technology. It's different technology.
a little peek behind the curtain. I use Work Tunes by 3M. They're my favorite headset.
Yeah.
But this one here, the phone part of it doesn't work that well. Whereas I have another one. It's also Work Tunes, same, as far as I know, same version of it even. But the audio doesn't work great.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to say anything, and I don't want to get in trouble. But one of the Work Tunes I have, the one that works well, I bought at a hardware store. And the other one I have that doesn't work, I bought at a online retailer that shall not be named.
Yep.
Am I saying that this is full of counterfeit parts? Well, no. How would I know that? But
Was it an online retailer choice? Like this online large
did they recommend this one?
yeah, this large online retailer often recommends and they dub it so and so's choice.
Well, here's the thing, and I wonder if anyone can crack our code of what we're saying. But I bought the good ones, and I love the brand of the good ones. So I didn't choose from a choice. I looked up the specific brand that I already know and like, and I bought that.
It's possible that they're the same brand, but they're made by different companies.
Well, it's also possible. Like I said, the other possibility is that they're the same brand, but these are actually counterfeit and not by that brand.
Yeah.
There is training that you can get as far as when you're buying electronic parts for things. And if you take this training, one of the things they tell you is that you should never buy your electronic things from this retailer.
Really?
They say to make sure that you don't get counterfeit parts, don't buy it from this retailer. Which is an interesting thing that I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my plan is, because the other ones that I had, which I've had for longer, they start just shutting off, and not like low battery either. They if I can explain this, I move my head down like this, and then I move it back up, and it shuts off. So I think there's a wire that's loose inside of it,
weird.
or something.
So
I need to get a third pair, it looks like.
How much do those retail for, if you don't mind me asking?
$35.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, not bad at all. That's why I use them. They're and I think I've talked about them before, but they're construction grade headphones.
Yeah.
I mean ear muffs, and then they have sound inside of them.
Yeah. No, those are great. I have this pair of overhead cans at home that I use when I'm, say, watching a loud, boomy movie at night and I don't want to disturb my neighbors. Because, I'm a considerate person and I hate it when other people's loud music interrupts my sleep. But it's been really warm here lately, and my apartment does not do a very good job of being able to sustain, or it does a great job of maintaining heat. It does a terrible job of letting me cool it off. And so I started watching Barry. Bill
Barry,
Hader.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Hitman Wants to Be an Actor show. And in episode 1, so I had these fans on in my apartment, and anybody who follows me on Facebook already knows where this story's going. But you don't, so I'm telling you for the first time. I had all these fans on in my apartment because, like I said, it's very warm, and it's just going to get warmer. And the window's open, and so I didn't wear the headphones because it was hot, and I didn't want to have these big over-ear cans on my head. So I turned the subtitles on while I was watching Barry. And at the end of one of the scenes, they say, when they're done with the scene, the lady said, "End scene." And I had to stop because the subtitle said "End scene," and I had to stop, and I had to doubt something that I've been saying for 30 years, which is "and scene."
I've been saying "and scene" as well.
So I put that out on Facebook, and I'm like, have I been getting this wrong for 30 years? And everybody's like, no, it's "and scene." And also, nobody ever really says that. They only say it in like a joking way. And like,
right.
I remember like when I was in college, we never said that. We never said scene, end scene, and scene. You only people who are making fun of actors or of acting say "and scene."
That is amazing. But you've got me wondering, because there's when I do TikToks, there's subtitles.
Yeah.
That you could do with TikToks, and it uses artificial intelligence to do the subtitles, and you really find out where your accent is when you do those subtitles, because it makes up what it thinks you're saying.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a lot of times. So "end scene" would be a great example, right? If you say your "ands" at all weird, it would put "end scene" instead of "and scene."
Yeah.
Which maybe is what happened there as well.
Well, it is what happened there, because Shane Regan dug out the production script of that episode. I don't know where he finds these things, but in the script it says "and scene." And so some robot or some person heard "end scene" and thought, never did theater, even though they work for HBO. And so it was an error that made it into the captions.
The one thing I would say also, Ben, talking about Barry, you might know this, but every once in a while when I watch like a TV show or a film or whatever, I'm like, if I were going to cast someone I know in this role, who would it be? You were the person that I chose that I would cast as Barry.
Oh, really?
Yes. You have a very hit man who wants to be an actor energy to you, I suppose.
What do you know?
Yeah. But, so yeah. Also, I would cast you in Psycho.
As the lead
part?
part?
I don't know what it is. Yeah, and this is the reason I think is because you have a warmth to you, but you also have a coolness to you. And if you are being written as someone who kills people, your warmth and coolness, the warmth is what we need. The coolness will be there just by virtue of what your character is, basically. And that's
maybe I've been auditioning for the wrong parts.
Yeah, hey, you should totally you should audition for everything, Ben. Everything.
I should just audition. Can't remember the last time I went to an audition.
I remember one of the last times I went to a professional audition, which is still very bad.
Yeah.
In my memory. Because I did an accent.
Uh-oh.
And I did not do a good accent. So, yeah, that was too bad. Never do an accent, Ben. If you can't do one.
Well, was it,
it's the rule.
I'm sure since you brought it up and it's painful, it wasn't like a British or an Irish accent.
Oh, no, Ben. Oh, no.
So, we don't need to go into this any further.
Yeah, no, it was not either of those two accents. Yeah, I don't know. I want to change the subject.
Yeah, let's change the subject.
Here's the thing, and this is all I will say. Draw from it what you will, Ben and other listeners. The role I was going for was a role that they thought that I could probably do based on my physical appearance, And by that I mean I wasn't pretending to do the accent of another race or ethnicity. I just want to point that out, that was not the situation.
Yeah.
It was not a God, what was that guy? Adrian Brody on Saturday Night Live did a Jamaican accent for one thing, and it did not work well for him.
No.
And I knew that because Comedy Bang Bang made fun of it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I have not listened to a non-D&D podcast except for BigSoftTitty.tng for a very long time. I don't listen to any of the Earwolf stuff anymore, but the other one that I do listen to, and Ben, if you don't listen to this, I'm going to recommend it to you, No Such Thing as a Fish.
No Such Thing as a Fish. What is it? What is it about?
Okay, are you familiar with the TV show QI?
Yes.
So the people who hunt up the facts for that have their own spin-off podcast, No Such Thing as a Fish, where they talk about facts that they found that didn't make it on air. Basically. And now they say, and I don't know if it's like for sure. They say the 4 strangest facts that we found this week or whatever. They don't mention that it didn't make it onto QI. I think that might just be the lore of the show, like how it started.
Gives it a little bit of an air of intrigue, if you will.
Yes,
because people already have an into it.
It is a little irreverent. You know, they're saucy sometimes with their talk. That's good. Oh. Another thing in media, then, Lupin, or Lupin, Lupin.
Rabbit, I don't know what it is, though.
Famous French, like sort of the French version of Sherlock Holmes a little bit, in that sort of popularity, right?
Yeah.
But he's a criminal. He's a gentleman criminal. Similar to the Saint. As well, but there's a TV show of Lupin that is on Netflix now, starring Omar Sy, and I've been watching that, and it's really good.
Don't know who that is,
and it's in French.
Ooh la la!
So you can practice your French while you watch it.
I was wrong.
And I was thinking about it.
Is rabbit?
The French have Lupin, right? The British have Sherlock Holmes. Who is our most famous fictional character?
In terms of like
in
our
the United
most
States,
famous in terms of a Holmesian style character.
In terms of a detective, like he's either solving crimes or doing crimes. I mean, because Poe has detective stories that he's written, but Poe's detective isn't that famous, I don't think.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is it maybe a cowboy?
Well, I mean, are we looking at detective stories or are we looking at all genres?
Well, let's talk about all genres and then see if we can.
So who's America's most famous character across every single genre?
But
in
around
literature
the time
or in movies?
The turn of the century, you know, like around the same times as Sherlock Holmes and.
Yeah, we're gonna have to narrow that down a little bit. If we're looking at,
although Ben, Cowboy Detective isn't that bad. I don't think that there is a real big.
Cowboy Detective is my favorite podcast.
Man, Ben, Cowboy Detective. I'm thinking about this. It's got legs.
Westerns are making a comeback.
So let's see. I mean, you've got your Tall Tales, your Davy Crockett. See, this is the thing. As the only thing I can think of, Abraham Lincoln, but he's real. He's a real guy.
Well, we can go to Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, That was introduced a little bit too late, though. Is there somebody that everybody like kind of knows stories about that?
Around the turn of the 20th century?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm so familiar with pop culture from the 1900s. Like the early 1900s. Is it dusty down there in your basement?
No, that was weird. I don't know what happened. Oh, it's this light probably. Makes me sneeze.
Do you sneeze quietly, or did Zoom just silence your sneezes? Because I didn't hear it.
I covered my mouth like that.
But you're a loud sneezer. I've been around you when you sneeze. You do the good dad sneeze.
COVID changed me though. I try my best to to contain it now.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you got your Dracula, got your Sherlock Holmes.
You said American.
Right. No, I'm thinking about other things around that time. Dracula, Sherlock Holmes, Lupin.
Was Lupin around the turn of the century in French literature?
Yep, exactly. Okay. Like 1900s. There's got to be something.
If you know what it is, email us at bensemail@yahoo.com, at gmail.com, and let us know.
Famous or text us. American, like maybe a boat guy. Like, is there a boat guy, like a sea captain?
Well,
that's not American. I don't think. I think that's British.
I mean, you can go to like. Does this person have to have multiple series written about them? Because like one of the Jay Gatsby comes to mind as like a character who is like the quintessential American character.
I've got it. Tom Sawyer.
All right. And Huckleberry Finn.
Tom Sawyer. Yep.
Very American.
That's what it is. Solving crimes. Getting into causing problems.
Trying to figure out who painted the fence.
I'm going to say Tom Sawyer unless somebody can come up with something different.
All right. Now that we've settled that.
Yeah. Hey, how many watchers do we have right now? One. Hey, Steven. That's the guess.
I don't think it's Steven, actually. Because Steven usually participates. Steven participates when Steven. He watches.
Well, that's kind of cool. Speaking about Steven, though, Steven got me. So I already have Microscope.
Yeah.
There's like an extension to Microscope. We're talking for those of you who haven't listened to the last episode, the previous episode.
278.
Our friend Ben Robbins does role-playing games, tabletop RPGs, as they sometimes call them. And Steven sent me the PDFs for Kingdom, Microscope. He purchased them also, just in case anyone is listening. Buy things from
Steven is not going to steal from one of his friends.
Yeah, exactly. Follow Kingdom, Microscope, and Microscope. I forget what it is. It's called something. But yeah, so there are those now. I also have Tales from the Loop and Kids on Bikes, and I might be getting another one. I like having RPGs, and there's a big thing on TikTok right now. A rift then between people.
Oh no!
Between the people who love D&D and play that, and the people who play other games, and they're like, you should play things other than D&D, and that's really what the thing is. You should play things other than D&D because there are some really cool creators out there. I really love D&D, and I grew up with D&D, and it's really cool. That's the base reality, right?
Yeah.
And then the people who play D&D are like, why are you attacking me for liking D&D? And the people who have the RPGs are like, why are you fettered to this billion-dollar corporation? And they're arguing about things that they really don't necessarily need to be arguing about.
Well,
because the play other RPG people love D&D too. Most of them. Some of them, don't. But
yeah, it's one of those things where it's okay to try to like things and try to share things that you like, but don't shame people for not for liking something, and don't be upset when they don't like the thing that you like. You can't always change people's minds.
Yeah. Although they did change my mind. I'm like, right, I used to like all these other games. And now, and if you think about it, the thing is, I'm thinking about, and don't keep this there under your hat, as they say. You know how I wrote Mara and the Magicians, the book?
Yeah.
I have a thought in the back of my head about how I would turn that into a game, like some of the rules and stuff like that. But I'm still working it out. It may never happen, but it would be kind of cool. And I have a couple of cool dynamics thinking about it. So we'll see. Oh, hey. Also, did you go on Twitter at all today and look at any of the trending topics?
I was on Twitter, but I did not look at the trending topics.
So KMOV, Channel 4 in St. Louis, which is the nearest news station to me, got made fun of today on Twitter a lot for some reason. Can you guess what the reason was?
Does it have anything to do with it being in the Midwest?
Not directly, no.
Does it have anything to do with weather or politics?
It has. Now, this is interesting. It has nothing to do with weather and nothing to do with politics.
Really?
Yes.
So a news station got made fun of. Were they victim of a John Oliver story?
No, they were not, but they might be in the near future.
Oh, did an anchor get caught on a hot mic?
No, it wasn't. I will branch off of what you just asked. This was due to a planned segment that they advertised.
Oh. Was there something inherently wrong or misguided with the segment?
Yes, there was something inherently wrong and misguided with the segment.
Was it a prepackaged segment and they were caught by some sort of fraudulent scheme?
No, in fact, again, I'm going to branch off of what you just said to give you a little extra hint. It was something that someone at the news station thought was a good idea.
All right, is it let's find a person of color and ask their opinion on something?
No. I'll once again. I'm just gonna. Because I really want.
Give me hints, because again, like trying to find a character that spans all genres to represent the whole of American pop culture.
Exactly.
This is a very wide open thing. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm gonna just give you an image. And the image is Steve Buscemi with his skateboard saying, "Hello, fellow teens."
Okay.
All right. Coupled with those consumer protection things that they air sometimes on news stories. You know, like hey. And I'm just giving you an example, but do you think you're paying too much for avocados at the grocery market? Here's what we found out, but that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, We're getting close to me telling you what it is, but make a final guess, and then I'll let you.
Were they warning children about a danger?
Oh, so close. They were warning parents about a danger.
Is your child about to kill you?
No. So close, though. Is your child...
Is your child Satan? Is your child a Democrat?
Oh, so close. Okay. The anchor comes out, and she sort of, shows some of these. She says, "Looks like a typical teen's room, doesn't it?"
Oh, I think I know what this is. How to tell if your kid's hiding drugs.
Yes. But what was made fun of by the
There's
people...
a big, like, tie-dyed...
Yep.
print over the bed.
And wait, now, Ben, are you looking at a picture or are you just guessing?
No, I saw somebody posted about this. I'm remembering it now. I didn't know it had anything to do with your TV station, but I remember seeing the headline.
That TV station was the one that put it out, and like mile 420, mile marker was in the room. All this stuff.
So they created this bedroom.
They created this bedroom in this studio, and so it's still got the tile carpeting that one would see inside of a news studio. It's messy and yet somehow immaculate at the same time. Like they just there's a bra on the floor. So I haven't seen the segment, but it got made fun of a lot, especially I follow some people, Ben, who are Hollywood people involved in TV shows and stuff. And they were making fun of it because of the set dressing. Yeah. That was done. Was so bad. So yeah, that's that news. That's that news that we have out here.
So the news out here is that in the last century, we have had a total of days. We have had 3 total days that have hit 100 degrees here in Seattle. Oh. In the last 100 years, it's hit 100 degrees in 3 separate days. We're gonna we might actually hit that record by Monday. It might be 100 degrees tomorrow, or 100 degrees Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
The thing I was afraid of was you were going to say the highest it's ever hit 100 degrees, 3 days. They were all this week. And you are saying basically that thing. I'm
saying basically that thing. We're in after Monday, we're in the last 100 years, we're going to have a total of 6 days that have hit 100 degrees, and 3 of them will be in a row.
Nothing is more frustrating to me, Ben, than people who are like, this is, my granddad did, what the idea that people have that things aren't bad or that they've always been bad or whatever. Yeah. This is one of those, I think. Although I do remember, I am not forced to go on canoe trips now like I was when I was a kid. I remember my ears having to having them blister and dead skin, all that on the top of my ears. Because I got sunburned. Did you have that?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I never put sunblock on my ears. Even when I did wear sunblock, yeah.
And like always the place that I missed.
And like the part in my hair would always get sunburned.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's, I've gotten better. I've gotten a little better about putting sunblock on, but I've gotten a lot better about not even going outside.
Yeah, me too. I don't go outside. Hardly ever. Edward does this thing now. When he wants to get picked up, he'll run up to me and he'll push me. He'll do this on my leg. Boom. Yep. And he'll run and go boom.
Like, hey, look at me. Look at me.
It's pretty crazy, yeah. He also, I don't know, you don't use the Twitters, Ben. Not the Twitters, but the TikToks.
I do not use the TikToks.
But Edward can now get a treat out of a brown paper bag, like a big grocery bag. He'll actually bite the side of it, turn it over, and then run inside and get it.
I do sometimes see what happens on TikTok because occasionally it gets cross-posted to Facebook or Reddit or something. So if something
Really?
goes really vile.
I thought you meant my stuff. I'm like,
vile.
what?
No, not your stuff.
Yeah, okay.
I meant to say viral. I said if something goes really vile, but I think that counts.
Yeah. Oftentimes. Yeah, obviously, public freakout. That's where that stuff comes from.
Something I learned today, because you see the worst of the world when on the internet, basically.
Yeah.
There was a whole, like, 2/3 of an apartment building collapsed in Florida this morning.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
I saw, and it just looks like a controlled demolition. And I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of it. Oh no, there were people in there. And
wow,
I haven't looked at it lately. And the comments were like, this is shoddy engineering. But some people were like, there's a sinkhole, so the engineers aren't to blame. And whatever. Who knows what happened? But damn, that's scary. I mean, you're just you're asleep early one morning, and then all of a sudden your apartment building collapses.
Your friend of mine, John McKenna, got hit by the facade of a building one time, which is nuts still.
And I walk past that many times because it is on one of my many routes I can take between Annex and my apartment. But I think about that every time I pass the old Icon Grill, about how John was attacked by the building.
The Icon Grill, still the best bathroom I've ever been in my entire life.
Why is that?
You remember that?
I don't.
The Icon Grill had a bathroom that had TVs playing geysers and firemen spraying stuff down with fire hoses and just all sorts of waterfalls, things like that.
Wow.
And playing Ride of the Valkyries. And it was awesome. It was a very good thing. Now, I believe it was Jennifer who told me, but I'm not positive, that in the women's bathroom there's a lot of like 1950s How to Treat Your Man videos playing. And the difference between those two things, very sad to me.
Yeah.
That, I mean, because you could still use the exact same, I wish you would have been able to have the same experience, basically. I feel bad.
Even though the Icon Grill was just on the other side of the block from where Annex used to be downtown, I don't think I ever went inside.
Oh, the food there's pretty good. I ate there a couple times.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did.
It was right, well, it's right
it was right there. I don't think I ever did. I don't think, and if I did, I do not recall it.
What is the bistro? What was the other restaurant that was around that area? It had a name like the Bistro or something like that. I'm not thinking of Blue Bistro, although Blue Bistro I ate at once.
Dahlia Lounge?
Dahlia Lounge, maybe that might be it.
There was Two Bells, which was down the street.
Oh no, I did eat at Two Bells before.
We went to
but yeah, I think it was the Dahlia Lounge that I didn't eat at. Was it fancier?
Yeah, it was pricey, and back in the day when we're poor, early 20s worker bees trying to do theater, we didn't have a lot of cash to spend at restaurants.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, the thing I do remember still that I loved was getting. I mean, when I think back to these things, I think back on them fondly. Getting off work at the night shift at Amazon and going with all the people I was working with to breakfast. and how great it was to like eat a big breakfast after you had just been working for a really long time.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
I was going, speaking of that time in our lives, I was going through a bunch of my files, and I have an annex file, and in it I found the email printout that Bruce gave me when you emailed Annex to say, hey, I'm interested in auditioning or volunteering. And Bruce had handwritten on this printout of an email, yeah, like call him if you are looking for volunteers or something. Because I was a house manager at the time.
Yep. I do remember you being the house manager at the time.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the things that I remember most about Annex, that when I went there, and people were describing, oh, this guy does this guy does this. Like almost everyone had sort of fallen into the job. Like they needed someone to do this, so now I'm doing this. That was the feeling of it, which I thought was cool. Because I was like, oh, maybe I could do that.
That sort of School of Annex, I mean, if you want to learn how to design a light plot, you're going to, we'll let you design a light plot.
Exactly,
Steven, he became the managing director because those shoes needed to be filled, and he's been doing it for 20 years.
Was Carrie Healy the managing director first? Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a company meeting, I remember, that took place in Steven's house at Dripping Acres, and Carrie Healy was like, listen, guys, this is serious. I am stepping down in 3 months. You need to decide who's going to take this job or hire someone. And McCandless just kind of lowers his head, raises his hand.
Nice.
The rest is history.
Was I there for that? I might not have been. There was for a while I was going to meetings as part of the production folks, the promotion folks. I mean,
yeah, the three-headed hydra of marketing.
Yeah, it was when. Hey, and I won't say what I do, but I have adopted that sentence at my work, calling myself and two of my coworkers the three-headed hydra of blank. And they find it charming.
Hail three-headed hydra.
Oh, that's something that's happening too. As you know, I work remotely.
Yeah.
My coworkers work somewhere else, and they are all going back into the office. And I didn't think about this until now, but I will tell you, the quality of the phone calls at the meetings I attend now, not as great, because everybody else is on one speakerphone.
Yeah.
And I'm still on my phone. So whenever anybody else who's remote calls in, it's like, brother, thank you. This is nice.
Yeah. There's which
is kind of cool.
There's a weekly happy hour amongst a bunch of theater people that I started going to, and it was all via Zoom. But now the host of it, like, he got a new place and he wants to have people over. So now it's going to be a mixture of like some people hanging out at his house and some people still on Zoom. And I can only imagine that it's going to be one of those things where it's like it's almost like two different things happening. There's the house people, and then there are the people on the Zoom. And it's
exactly. There will be a
the energy is definitely going to change. The energy is going to change anyway, because people generally just drink excessively on this. Because why not? You're at home. It's a Friday night. And now that people are going to be, at some dude's house, well, they're going to have to watch themselves if they need to drive home.
Yeah, exactly. Dad, never leave the house is what I say. That's my motto.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, speaking about which, well, not really. I have the Pillow Cube. I got the Pillow Cube.
What is that?
Have you seen the ads for the Pillow Cube?
I have not.
Oh, I should have brought it down, Ben. It's a pillow.
But it's a cube. It sounds like a doggy bed of sorts.
No, but it's thick. It's like this. I would run upstairs and get it, but that would make for a bad podcast. Or
you can just describe it.
Yeah, it's
a pillow, but it's a cube.
6 inches high, and like maybe a little bit wider, like maybe 8 inches wide.
And is it?
So
I'm assuming it's meant for your head to be like a really
yeah,
stiff
and
pillow.
it's for side sleepers. That's how they
Oh.
they pitch it. And it worked out for me. I mean, I do have to, whenever I roll over, I have to reposition it. And you know how you can do that when you're sort of asleep? You know, you might roll over, you might do something, and you're aware that you're doing it, but you're also still asleep, kind of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is that when I'm rolling over, I like have to, you know, move it, because it is the size of your head. Now, they sell a deluxe version, which is...
Size of two heads.
Well, it's the same thickness, but wide. And the idea is that then you could turn over without doing that. But the thing is that the way I'm thinking about it, part of the reason is it keeps your neck, tries to keep your neck and spine stable or whatever. If you're rolling like that for a little bit, your head's going to be like this. So actually readjusting it is not bad, I think.
When I bought my new comforter, it came with one of those real thick pillows. It's more like a decorative pillow. I don't know if anybody's meant to actually use it to sleep, but it's really thick, right?
Yeah.
And I keep it on the bed because it makes me feel classy. And but when I go to sleep, I'll sometimes like lay on my back and use it because it provides some nice support. The pillows I have are kind of flat these days. And but I find that if I fall asleep, inevitably, I will kick it off the bed, and I'll find it on the floor the next morning. So, I'll try to sleep with it with purpose, but then, my natural sleeping state, as I'm, readjusting everything in that half sleep phase, I throw it off.
Yeah, I find that the other good thing about this is that it is its own small thing. It doesn't intrude on Jennifer's pillows at all, and therefore I don't steal Jennifer's pillows, because Jennifer's pillows are not this pillow. I can tell the difference between them, whereas before my pillows and her pillows were the same. So if I was lying and her pillow was a little bit off, I was like, oh, this must be mine, and I would take it from her, which is not great.
Probably doesn't appreciate you stealing her pillows.
She doesn't, and she has mentioned it to me several times. So this is one of my ways around it. There's a lot of stuff that I do that I'm trying to regulate my sleep behavior, because I don't sleepwalk or anything like that, but I do. It is difficult to be around me when I'm sleeping. Sometimes.
Is it?
Because I steal things, whatever, get up sometimes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm not a sleepwalker. I was when I was a kid, but I am really, really afraid of like walking out of my apartment and not realizing it, and locking myself out without my keys, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want to suddenly regain consciousness in the hallway.
There were times when I was a kid when I would wake up and I'd be outside, which wasn't great.
Yeah.
But the fear of people who are like, what is it, the Lunestra thing, where they just buy a whole bunch of stuff online and they forgot about it, or they drive to their old house.
Yeah.
That's crazy stuff. The thing I'm afraid about, I've mentioned this before, I think, because they're working on ways to like get people to like forget stuff with PSTD and stuff like that, editing memories and stuff. And that to me is like scary, scary, scary stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how much manipulation I want going up all up in there.
Yeah, exactly. My thought, of course, that they actually perfected this in the 1970s, and the few people who remember the technology are the ones who like control everything. It'd be fun, just a goof.
They're the ones. They're the ones who are claiming that lizard people travel in tunnels beneath Washington and L.A. because they know that's true. We've all forgotten it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they put the chlorine in the water.
Between where in L.A.?
D.C.
Oh.
You know, the seat of our government.
Right. Oh, D'Artagnan. I was like, somebody did a piece on that at Annex. Who was that? D'Artagnan.
Yeah.
D'Artagnan, by the way, I saw him recently online, and he is like been exercising a lot. He is very, or was at least, like bigger, like strong looking.
Like he's buffed out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but not in a Joe Piscopo kind of way where you're like, hey, man, give it a rest. Just, it was more of a, well, look at that.
Somebody found a gym.
Exactly.
I can hear Edward barking in the background.
No. Oh, yeah. He's going a little crazy. I don't know what that's about, but I can hear it too. So, Ben, Betty is not here. She is...
Where is she?
At band.
Ah.
And you know what that means?
Learning to play the drums?
She's playing percussion of some sort. There we go. That's a little bit better. But it was raining, so I think they went inside rather than being outside. And this is the thing, is that both Jennifer and I, like, she doesn't want to do it anymore right now.
Really?
But both Jennifer and I got to quit things. And so now we don't have that skill. And so we're not living vicariously through her, but we are like, okay, both of us are mad that our parents made us quit. Or not made us, sorry. Our parents let us quit the musical instrument that we were learning.
Yeah.
So we aren't going to do that. And maybe she'll be mad that we wouldn't let her quit, but she'll be mad that we wouldn't let her quit and also able to play the drums. So, you know, we'll see how that goes.
I mean, I wish I wish my parents had encouraged me more to play an instrument when I was a kid, to learn how to play something. I probably would have, I don't know if I would have hated it, but I definitely would have felt resentful that it was taking up so much of my TV watching time and playing with my friends' time. Yeah. But like now as an adult, I wish I had that skill.
So, let me see. There, just to make sure, I know that we might have already checked this, but we should do our little thing. There are no emails for us?
No emails, except from YouTube saying this episode is now live on our YouTube channel.
Oh. Hey, well, there we go. Thanks, YouTube.
No voicemails or texts. No
and
chats.
We'll remind you that B10 LUNG LAG B10 lung lag is the number.
Yeah.
If you want to call us.
You can see it on the screen.
What's that?
You can also see it on the screen. Well, you can't see it on the screen, but the viewers can see it on the screen.
And this is a little bit of a Easter egg for our podcast and live stream audiences who maybe weren't there. We had to turn off the thing where I could see myself next to Ben, because seeing myself with lag or delay throws me off. It confuses me, and I don't feel good. Like a monkey looking at his own reflection.
Yep.
I bare my fangs and
charge the phone.
Start feeling, exactly. Okay, so and feel free to call that number at any time. You can always leave a message for us.
Yeah. Because
this is a show that thrives on interaction with its audience, and yet we do not advertise. And it's a point of pride that we don't advertise. It's a secret. Can you figure it out? And the chances are that many people don't want to. Although, hey, speaking about secret, can you figure it out? Have you heard about Abandoned Ben.
Abandoned.
Abandoned is a game that is coming to PS5. And Kojima. Do you know who Kojima is?
I do not.
Kojima is a video game auteur. He did a game called Death Stranding. He did a lot of the Metal Gear games.
Okay, I've heard of those.
And there's a rumor that this game, Abandoned, is actually his next game. And there's apparently an app that is going to be released tomorrow for the game, which may have a trailer for it. It's confusing of what the app is.
Certainly sounds like
But
it.
anyway, the guy who's actually doing this game, actually the lead on the game,
Yeah.
did a video to prove that he wasn't actually Kojima in disguise, which some people have stated. And the more I think about it, the more
I'm
I'm
not
like,
Banksy.
how would you feel if this, and people are like, they're not going to just make an app for some indie game. This is definitely him, that kind of thing. I was just thinking about it. If you and I were to be working on a film of some sort, and like, hey, GudeLaurance is going to be, and people were like, GudeLaurance isn't even a thing. This has got to be David Lynch. And they're all convinced that the new David Lynch movie is going to come out.
Yeah.
I would feel so, I would feel honored, first of all, but also very sad and upset. Because no one's going to like my thing now, because it's not going to be the thing that they hope it is.
You know, that's something that you have to worry about with any piece of art.
Yeah.
Somebody's not going to like it. Somebody's going to be disappointed. If you're lucky enough to build buzz and you don't deliver on that buzz, that, you know, then there's that as well. So as an artist, you can just be like, look, this is what I'm giving you.
Yeah, and I'm not, and I told you this whole time that it wasn't a David Lynch film.
Yep.
I don't know why you thought it was, but it's not.
You're just hoping for a new David Lynch film. You're not going to get it.
Speaking about which, David Lynch is, he has a deal with Netflix, I think. It's either Netflix or Amazon Prime, to do a new TV show.
Really?
Kyle MacLachlan talked about it a little bit. Hey, there's another one. If I were going to cast Twin Peaks with my friend, you would be Agent Dale Cooper.
I'm flattered.
Yeah. I would, of course, be the one-armed guy.
The one-armed guy.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't know
not
who
going to
that
say
is.
his name because I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. It's the one-armed guy that sells shoes. Or I could be Dr. Jacoby, I guess. That would also work. Maybe.
Would you shave for a role?
Yeah, of course. Oh, you mean a roll in a I thought you meant like food, which I would also probably do.
Wait.
No.
Hold on. There's also butter.
Oh, okay. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would. I mean, it doesn't take me that long to grow a beard out. You know, I can always grow it again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, people with long hair and beards, sometimes I think are looking for excuses to shave it off. The reason I don't shave is it's purely because I don't want to have that routine. I get razor burn, and
Yeah.
if I shave with electric, it pinches my skin sometimes. It's all just pain. I don't like it. Whereas with my beard, I can trim it because like I don't like eating an ice cream cone when I have a beard. I much prefer eating an ice cream cone without a beard, but I can always wash my beard after I eat the ice cream cone.
Yeah. I shaved this morning, which was the first time in about a week, so it wasn't too pleasant. But
Did
yeah,
you shave for the podcast or for another reason?
No, just because I don't like having facial. I don't like having a beard, you know? And it's not what a
Yeah,
beard. It was in that little scratchy, like, you know, I haven't shaved for a week phase. But, yeah, I would rather deal with shaving than with, like, with shaving, it's 20 minutes in the morning, you know, if it's been a long time. Less than that if you do it every day. And then you're done. Whereas I have to live every minute of every day with an annoying scratchy beard.
I feel like um, I feel like I understand why some people shave now because, like, if I got rid of this white part here, then I would look younger. I think men do it to look younger is the main thing. Whereas me, I'm trying to get this old wizard aesthetic going. So I want the rest of it to go white. It just
Yeah.
hasn't yet.
No. Well, you gotta just get yourself some good frights. I hear getting scared whitens your hair.
Yeah. Speaking of Twin Peaks, Leland Palmer's hair turns white.
Or I think one of the character who stayed in Derry, he goes into the sewers and his hair turns white.
Oh man! I have HBO Max now, so I could watch the two It films.
Well, the one that I'm thinking of was the ABC miniseries.
Ah,
I don't know.
well,
I've
I'm
seen
not
the
gonna
films,
watch
but I
that.
don't. I've seen the films, but I don't recall if.
Wait, was John Ritter in that?
Yeah, John Ritter was in
Yeah.
that, and Harry Anderson.
John Ritter is pretty cool. Harry Anderson too. Well, both those guys are cool.
Yeah. And,
I like to think.
But the movies are pretty good. I do like the movies. They are
So I'll.
a bit scarier. But Bill
Hey,
Hader's
speaking
in.
of Bill Hader,
Barry's in.
Hey!
He's the adult. Yeah.
Hey, full circle. We did it. And right on time too. We're almost. It's almost time for us to
Almost.
go. We've got. Okay. So let's see. How do we do something that's nice that isn't entirely controversial? That can take us to the end of the time.
We could do the next GudeLaurance piece in our sometimes.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, people may not know this, but Ben and I used to do performance art. Well, we still do. As we've stated, this podcast is actually our longest piece of performance art.
Right.
Many people think that it's a real podcast, but it's actually just a very long form.
So
until we get to the same place where we can actually start doing our stage shows again.
When Betty graduates high school and you guys move back to Seattle and we start up Spin the Bottle again.
Or Port Townsend or wherever we I
think with the Seattle area. Did we do the GudeLaurance Joe Adcock Theater Review Mad Lib?
We did.
Vaguely remember
yes.
that. Did we do Ninja Exterminators?
No, we didn't. I do not believe that we did. So this is a film, and we could link to it.
May 5th, 2006. Quite a while ago.
And I have to say, Ben, if I haven't stated it before, there is a guy. His name is Chris DeShirlia, and he and I, when I was like 15 or so, I was a student of his. He was a Taekwondo instructor, and we were talking about different martial arts things and what would be cool names for things. Like what would be a cool name for, because he wanted to be a martial arts guy.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that one of the names he was thinking of was Ninja Exterminators. He was the one who used the phrase Ninja Exterminators. And I said, that would be really funny if it was a guy who was trying to... So I almost think I would give him half writing credit on that because after he said it, I was like, he should be a guy going around taking ninjas out of people's houses. That was something when I was 15 years old. And of course, you and I wrote it. He did not write it. He did not film it. But that is the origin of that. And I don't think I've ever mentioned that at all.
No, I didn't know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Rick Miller was the Ninja Exterminator. It took place in your house, in South Park.
Yep.
And
That was the great thing about that house in South Park. Didn't need to get a permit to shoot there. We owned it.
Had one of my favorite. I was just learning how to edit and do effects, and so I had a handheld shot of the house with my car parked out front, my Honda Civic, and I just put the Ninja Exterminator's logo on the door, but I didn't know how to track, so it moved with the handheld camera. So if you, it's like a brief, like 1.5 second, 2 second shot, but the logo on the side of the car will move because it's not a lockdown shot. But no, Rick played the Ninja Exterminator and the ninjas.
Yes, which speaks of the duality of man in many ways. And also, he plays the safety cowboy.
Yeah.
As well. And I think we had a through line that he's either the safety cowboy who becomes the ninja. I think the Ninja Exterminator becomes the safety cowboy.
The Ninja Exterminator becomes because at the very end, spoilers for those who haven't seen it. He says, "I'm not just an exterminator. I'm also a cowboy." And he puts his cowboy hat on. Jennifer closes the door, and you say, "Lock it." She locks it, and then we cut to the outside, and he just turns around slowly and walks away.
Yeah, man. I like that a lot. It's near and dear to my heart.
Yep.
So yeah. Oh wow. So if I was 15, that would have been 33 years ago? Yeah. 33 years ago, Ben. Can you believe it?
I cannot.
Wow.
I refuse.
When that happened. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's good. We killed it. We went a little over time now, but I think we did a good job.
Alrighty. And with that.
Hey, Ben.
Yes, Paul.
I'm going to ask you to keep it wrong.
Well, I'll give you that permission, and in return, I will ask you to also keep it wrong, and I will see you next week.
I do like the fact that you gave me permission. Ben, can I keep it wrong, Ben?
Please keep it wrong.
Yes.